Hello, 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 hello. This is your host, Isaiah Smallman, and welcome to episode 10 of I Guess We'll Do It That Way. We're going to be giving away some sweet, sweet t-shirts. This is our first bonus episode, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little on the shaggy side. Still worth listening to, but you know, it's a little shaggy, not a whole lot of rollers talk. So if you only want to hear if you want a shirt, I totally understand. Please feel free to skip ahead to the giveaway, which is marked in the show notes. Here is episode 10. Well, here we are. John, this is our first ever bonus episode.
Feels a little premature, but here we are.
Well, premature? It's never too early to just give our sweet listeners a bonus. That's always a good thing, right?
Well, it's kind of like a bonus gift on a gift that you didn't really want in the first place. Like an extra pair of quilted socks.
Or an extra egg cooker. I
didn't need one. I don't need
Yeah,
two.
exactly. The first one just takes up space in the cabinet.
Uh-huh. And now I got two.
Who gave you two?
You get a lot of stuff for your wedding, you know.
Oh, we're going to have to cut that part out because, John, I totally forgot. This episode is sponsored by the Egg Cooker Association of America, actually.
What is an egg cooker? A pan?
There's these egg cookers. We got one for our wedding.
No. What's it look like?
It looked like a stainless steel egg.
Huh? And what do you do with it?
It was dumb. You take the lid off and you put water in it, and then you put your eggs in this little tray, and it steams them.
Oh, yeah. I got one of these at a White Elephant one time. It's an egg
why?
poacher. It's an egg poacher.
No. It also boiled eggs, and we tried poaching because we're like, well, fine. If it poaches eggs well, fine.
Yeah.
It was not a poached egg. It was basically like a runny egg, like if you just dumped a fried egg in some water and just let it sit, and then, you know what I mean? It's not a poached egg.
To get a poached egg right, you got to put a little white vinegar in there. Mm-hmm. You got to swirl the water. You got to drop the egg in the little tidal pool.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to do it just so. It's kind of hard to get right.
Yeah.
I've used those little the egg poachers though. Yeah, they don't work great.
No.
You get a steamed egg. Yeah, it's mediocre.
Well, I mean, I can boil an egg.
I know how to do that.
With a pan.
You know what is nice to have?
I already have. What?
They make these, it's like an egg that's been cut in half, made out of plastic. Have you seen this?
No.
And inside of it, sort of built into this like epoxy half egg, is some kind of heat-sensitive dye that changes color. So it'll tell you on the thing. It has a little gauge that tells you how done the egg's in. So you put whole eggs in a pan with water with this little thing, and it'll tell you if they're soft boiled, hard boiled, medium, and you can take them out.
Whoa.
Depending
I want
on
that.
Your preference. Yeah, it's actually pretty handy.
We'll link to that in the show notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just happen to make and sell those.
You do.
No,
Why do you think we started this podcast? To flog our goods.
A long con, baby.
You know what I was doing earlier, John, before we got on? I had such a good day. I was eating some Ben & Jerry's Tonight Dough.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest ice cream flavor ever created by human beings.
Those Ben & Jerry flavors, they're all outstanding.
And this is the best of all of them, I think. And then I was watching Key and Peele videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I was laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah, those sketches are great.
I'm having a good day.
I just watched a show on Netflix called Nailed It. Have you seen this?
No. Sounds bad.
It's a cake. It's a cake decorating contest show.
And
that's it, dude. So they take like an expert cake maker, and like the one we just watched, they had a life-size bust of Donald Trump in cake, and these idiot amateurs have to recreate it. I mean, you look at this thing, you have
They're
no
amateurs?
idea.
Oh my gosh.
It's like people with less cooking experience than I have.
Oh, so that's the point, is that they're not like competitive
totally.
Chefs.
Exactly. And they use like cake mix, it's not like a
that
real cooking
fun.
show. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's pretty funny because the stuff that they have to make is outrageously difficult.
Yeah.
It's really decorating. Like, how good are you at art? Can you draw a face on this cookie?
Yeah.
and to
it's funny,
see the
though.
comparison of the expert and the total amateur failing miserably because they don't tell them how to do anything. Like, you got to freeze a lot of this stuff. Like, you got to cool the cake off before you decorate it. So they don't know it. So they put this like boiling hot cake. They have this boiling hot cake and they put buttercream around it and it all melts off. It's a complete mess. It's hysterical. Check
That sounds
it out.
like
It's
my
called
kind of reality
Nail
TV.
It.
It's a great show.
funny.
Speaking of cooking shows, the Great British Baking Show.
Oh yeah,
That is some
it's
high
classic.
quality entertainment.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some those hosts, the judges, they can be a little too snarky for me. A little cute.
I kind of like them. So, John, we have important business today. We are awarding our Hat in the Box. No. We already did the Hat in the Box. We are awarding some people some T-shirts for their loyalty, their hard work, their dedication, their commitment,
They actually just wrote a few words on
their
iTunes.
steadfast love for this show.
Their response to your badgering, I think, is inappropriate. More appropriate. The people that I pestered a review out of.
John, don't be so cynical.
The
and
least you could
correct.
do is put them in an unofficial lottery to win a shirt. Mm-hmm. It's the least we could do.
You know what?
It was literally the least we could do. Here's your bonus. So what kind of hat did we end up on? What kind of hat did we end up with?
I'm dying right now. I need to stop. I'm sorry. I'm literally crying. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, wow.
What size hat did you end up having to get?
John, you're going to be disappointed, John. I feel it.
Am I?
Well, here's the thing. You're not going to be disappointed for this reason. It was too many names, too many hard-written reviews to fit into a cap.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds very good. The problem is that's the biggest hat I have.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Everything is sitting in a wicker basket right now.
Okay.
I cut them up. I made them all the same size so that my hands aren't going to gravitate towards any particular ones. I want this to be very fair. I want this to be very, very fair, very honest, transparent.
You
But
have an impartial witness in the room with you?
Charlie and Olive,
Okay.
producers of the show, will be
You
the
do feed them and house them,
verifiers.
but sure, they're impartial.
Yeah, but trust me, they would never do wrong.
Okay, I trust you.
Okay, John, I'm going to pause real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Not pause. I'm going to
Yeah.
pause for everyone else because this could take several hours to find it.
Okay,
But I know you'll
sure.
wait for me. I just remember that Kelly has a straw hat that she wears to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought of that's the perfect middle ground. And
Because
I
you're
thought of
married
that because
to
I was
a 70-year-old woman from the 1920s. A straw hat.
I
What you
was
doing with a
trying not
straw
to
hat?
give too many details.
Cat's out of the bag.
Now she's a beauty though.
Does she have an embroidered shawl?
Yeah, and she has a brooch.
A kerchief?
She has a brooch that says 79 going on 29.
I shouldn't rag on her. She's a stylish lady.
She does.
Straw hats are quite useful.
They're in too.
Are they?
Almost
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. Well,
They're
all
in
right.
here too, but
Speaking of being
with a different
in,
crowd.
Speaking of being in, like a week and a half ago, I was at the Grove, which is this like fancy ass mall in the middle of LA. Like Justin Bieber
Okay.
goes there and stuff. Anyway,
Okay, I'm impressed.
I was wearing yeah, I mean that's the impressive part. The rest is just me talking. I was wearing some ratty Patagonia shorts that are about 16 inches above my knees because that's the way they're most comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's a hole in the crotch that I have yet to repair. But you
Okay.
can't see it when I'm just walking around. But, there's a hole in the crotch. I have some stains on them because they're my
Sure.
wear around everywhere shorts. I'm wearing tall socks with some black Vans and a gray T-shirt. Okay, and I get stopped because I've got my earbuds in because I'm listening to a podcast, and I get stopped. Somebody like passed me on the shoulder. I was like, oh geez, whatever. And I like pulled my earbuds out, and she was like, "Can I take a picture of you right now?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Your look is so cool." And
Whoa!
I
Describe
just kind
this
of
woman?
stopped. She was probably 29, 30, and pretty stylish. And I was like, what do you, she was like, I've been telling people they need to wear more like Patagonia, and like, I love your shoes. And she's like, your hair is so great. Anyway. And I was
How
like, what
much
the heck?
Scientology material did she have on her when
here's what
spoke to you?
she did leave me some pamphlets,
Here we go.
but that was not until the end. And in the meantime, she was like, I just want to take a picture of you. He was like, do you work in like costume? I was thinking, my first thought was she's a costume designer and she's out getting ideas for looks. And I was
Sure.
like, she's going to take a picture of me because I'm like the ratty 20-something. You know what I mean? This is like her new version of the ratty 20-something. And then I was like, are you a costume designer? She's like, no, I work in fashion. And I was like, what? I was like, what? What the heck? Anyway,
Did
she
take a
really liked
picture?
my look. She took like 15 or 20 pictures of me, and then
Did you
left.
get her name? What's her Instagram handle?
I should have. I didn't want to seem vain.
Ball.
I wanted to be like so cool that I just didn't even care if I got her Instagram.
You just flipped your hair and walked away.
Yeah,
in a huff.
exactly. Yeah.
Like off to get my picture taken some more.
Yeah, I have other people waiting to take my picture, and they're paying me.
She didn't offer to give you anything.
No.
Like you can find me here. It seems strange.
I thought that was strange too, but I think that means probably she just works at some big designer or something. You know what I mean? Like there wouldn't necessarily be like a place for me to go look. You know?
Sure. I just feel like this is going to be a clue to help solve your murder in the future.
Well, it's on the record now.
I'm taking notes.
All right, let me go. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go find the straw hat real quick. Be right back.
What's up, Roger? This shit is probably boring you to tears. There's some lightsaber sounds.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. What's up, dog?
You got that hat?
I'm pumped about this. This has been a long time coming. All right, we're gonna lay a couple ground rules. John,
Yep.
it's up to you. I'm just gonna cycle through, and I'm gonna be floating them around, and it's up to you to say stop, and I have to grab the one that's in my hand.
I'm waiting
Okay.
for James Randi to pop out and tell us that we're frauds. Did you watch that documentary about James Randi? Not to sidetrack us, but ladies and gentlemen, go see it. The Amazing Randy. It's
Tell
so
me about
good.
it. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, dude, this guy James Randi. He's a magician.
Oh, is the blind one?
I don't know if he's not blind. I
Oh,
don't think he's
never mind.
blind. He might be now. Well, he's dead now, I think. But he set up the
I'm thinking
Randy
of someone else.
Challenge. It was $1 million to anybody that could prove actual paranormal stuff happening, psychics, mediums, seances, anything like that. And he's kind of a famous debunker, which Harry Houdini was also a famous debunker. He used to go to these seances and like expose the tricks, you know. So that's what James Randi did. He's a fascinating guy, but he also had like kind of a weird personal life. Check it out. It's a cool movie. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
Amazing Randy, something like that. Just look it up.
Yeah, we'll find.
All
it.
right.
So you get to tell me when to stop, John.
Okay.
Can everyone hear this? Can you hear it in your? Can you hear me flipping?
Yeah, just keep going. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Ground rule number 2. Every name is in here once. There's only one name.
Okay, I say stop.
First name. There are a couple more rules, but we can cover them as we go. First name
Okay.
is.
Okay. Do I get to make up rules?
You can make up some rules. Do you want to make up a rule before I read this name?
Yeah, it has to be my name.
That's one of the. I already made a rule previously that I didn't get to yet, which is that you cannot force anyone to pick your own name.
I can't make 11-year-old rules.
No, they have to be 29 to 35-year-old rules.
Okay, all right, fine.
If they're
then-
45-year-old rules, I'm kicking them out.
Okay, no rules. What's the name?
First name. All right. I just first like to say I love these. I was writing these down earlier, so I saw all of them. I'm going to read some highlights later because they're really taking me back to like when AOL Instant Messenger, and everybody had their absurd screen names with like 90 characters and tons of letters and numbers afterwards. I just think this is funny because like how many Apple IDs are there, but all of these names have like, I'm like, you could probably just do your name. All right.
That's so true. Except
First
Bob
name.
Smith.
This is a big moment. This is a big moment. I don't know who most of these people are based on these screen names, but that was ground rule number 3. If you get called, I know some people are still catching up on episodes, so I'll give you like
6
3
months
weeks
later.
2 weeks from now when this is released. 2 weeks from now, I need to place an order for these shirts, and I want to make sure I get your size and you have your address. So you need to email the show identifying yourself. Don't cheat. Cheaters. There's cheaters out there. Cheaters.
If there's somebody listening to this podcast just hoping to get a free shirt, it's time to get some new hobbies, dog.
John, don't discourage them. We need them.
Keep listening, but go outside.
Please keep listening. No one gets a free ride except for Teddy. Teddy Bronson's shirt has already been ordered. Teddy's a large.
Checks in the mail, Ted.
And we got him for his wife and kids. How many kids does Teddy have now?
I don't know. I'd have to go look at his Instagram.
Okay, because I know the youngest one. I can't remember if the youngest one is the youngest or if there's like a new youngest. There's like a one that's like a year and a half, and I feel like I remember them having like a baby, but I don't know if I'm thinking that was like a while ago.
Baby
how
looks
time
like a
starts to get weird.
bratwurst.
I mean, yeah, because he's little, but he'll get there. All right,
All right,
name.
you build up the suspense rather.
Morty,
who is it?
Morty 1962. Morty 1962. You're a winner, baby. You're a winner.
My grandma's right now checking to see what her alias is.
All right, we're getting 10 names. John,
We're not going to have
stop.
any way to get these to these people, are we?
They're going to have to write in.
They're going to confirm their name. I'm going to write it. I'm Morty 97. I want that shirt.
No. Don't cheat. All right. Because the names will probably make sense once we find out who they are,
Yeah.
All right. Well, Morty, you got 2 weeks. John.
Yo.
Tell me when to stop.
Go. Stop right now.
G. Davis, 1361.
Oh, Gina Davis.
Gina Davis is listening. All right.
Wonderful young lady.
Tell me when to stop, baby. Tell me when to stop.
How many of these are we going to do?
We're going to do 10.
10. Holy crap. Stop.
Well, let's get going, John. Jeez Louise. Lil Scamp.
That's got to be me.
Lil Scamp.
Lil Scamp. Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Wow.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Scamp.
We've got
Hold on a
7
second.
more to go.
We might have to do an entire episode on Lil Scamp, dude.
It's kind of a good
intense.
name.
I love that.
I might change my middle name to Isaiah Lil Scamp Smallman.
Oh, that's your next tattoo right
Because it's a
there.
good little middle name for a guy whose last name is Smallman. It's like Lil Scamp, Small Man.
Oh, wow. And you're not a small guy. You're a big guy.
I'm really like Lil Scamp. Tell
Lil
us who you
Scamp.
are so we can properly thank you.
Wow, sick. Stop.
Oh, no, I have like 10 in my hand right now. Okay.
Good.
Chris Wren Ball. You are a winner, baby. You're a winner. Chris Wren Ball. That's what I'm talking about. That's a name. I know
That's
who that person
verifiable.
is based on that person writing in, and their email address will be Chris Wren Ball. I can actually tell that it's you. John, number 5, coming up.
Go.
Davy Royals. That
Oh.
cannot be a name.
That feels like an alien. It feels like it feels like something you made up.
Turns out, Charlie, I just want to say, I know I don't have to defend myself against these baseless accusations.
Sure.
But these
sure.
are legit.
I believe you.
Okay. I'm ready
Go.
when you are.
Stop. Go ahead.
Huntery. Maybe that's Hunt.
I hope for his sake it is.
All right. I'm ready.
Go. Come on, Reginald Denny.
This is how you know it's legit, baby. Guess what the next name is, John?
Oh, I don't even want to get. I don't want to use somebody's name and out them.
Zay Smallman.
Oh, come on, stick it back in. You put yourself in the running.
I said I was going to last week. I had to follow through. You're in here
and
too.
You won. This is so rigged.
I'm gonna put mine aside. I'll put mine aside.
Oh my.
Also,
goodness. No,
John,
You pulled it.
I found a really great little treat.
Yeah.
My alias Zay Smallman is spelled with one L. It's spelled.
You misspelled your name?
Yes.
Oh wow, this is getting dark.
It's so bad.
I hate to keep going back to the show Nailed It, but a woman put a cake, a quote-unquote cake, in the oven without any flour in it.
So just like milk and eggs?
They had a little pop-up caption bar that said, "A cake without flour is an omelet." Dude, she put it in. They even had one of the hosts. They broke the show's protocol, and they had one of the hosts go up and be like, "Hey, you forgot to put flour in your cake." Oh. And she was like, "What? No, I didn't."
Whoa.
It's unreal. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's incredible.
She basically put like a half a cup of milk in the oven.
Wow. That's so good.
Next name.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
Oh, you're saying go. Surripere. 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 Okay, moving on. That is number 7. Even though that's the 8th name, I'm taking mine out. We got to draw 10 real names. Okay. John, tell me when.
Go.
Zohar. You're a winner.
That was one of the Boston bombing brothers?
Zohar. Zoltar.
Stop. Go.
Okay. Steve Suth. Steve Suth. Steve Suth. It's S-U-F-S-F-S-U-H. S-U-T-H. Steve Suth.
Stop.
Abilali. Abby Lally. I'm feeling happy. Let's do 2 more names, John. Let's get some more t-shirts away.
Set, go.
Okay. BP Large.
Okay, yes,
like the
that's
oil
me.
Company. BP Large. Okay.
So that was the name somebody had to post after the oil spill.
That was the name somebody had to post.
I'm outraged.
That was the name they had to post after they got walked in on after swimming in the pool.
Oof. And go.
BP Large. Cough Woman. K-A-U-F Woman. Cough Woman.
Unreal.
All right. Should we do one more?
Go for it. Go.
All right. One more. John Drexler. That's a name. That is an in-law of yours.
This is so staged.
No, it's not.
I want to see the webcam after this.
Not Christopher Nolan. That could be anyone.
We know who it isn't.
All right, one more.
All right, go.
I want to pick one that is good.
Right, you're looking at them. These are
cheating. Bonuses now. I can do whatever I want.
Just send your friends free T-shirts.
I can send anyone a T-shirt I want. I'm paying for them.
Yeah, but we got to listen to this. We got to listen to you go through the hat.
Oh, it's so good.
Roger now is sitting there munching on a baguette, crying.
I'm awarding one. I'm awarding one to the best name.
That's
pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, we've got Kitay-Lavah, Kitaylavah 63.
That sounded a little different coming over Skype.
Kitay-Lavah.
I'd just like to say I've got some weird windows set up in my basement, so I'm sitting here yakking into this microphone, and I can look up, and there's a window, if I were standing up, it would be at eye level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now that I'm sitting, I can look directly up into the night sky, and
Whoa.
it's all black except for very large, bright red dot Mars.
Whoa. Have you ever been to Mars?
One day with Elon, we will go.
I love that courtesy laugh. Thank you. Oh, dude, I'm really struggling. These names suck. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Lil Lettuce 45.
Ooh, Lil Lettuce.
Lil Lettuce. Oh, here's another one. Justin Bieber is your mom.
Huh.
That is a false statement. That's not true. He is not a mom to anyone.
I haven't talked to my mom in a long time, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not true. I just saw it.
Crashing Boar is another okay one. Yeah.
Lanny Doyd. That's pretty good.
Lanny Doyd. No. I don't think so, Lanny. I don't think so, Lanny. Oh, jeez. You know, this is really fizzling, huh?
No, I think it's great. I think it would have been better if we knew who these people were.
I know. They don't even probably know who they are.
They made these things 10 years ago. Is it their iTunes, like Apple ID names?
No, it's like a different alias, as is shown by my own.
Oh, true.
My own kerbopple. Oh boy. Fellini for life. That's definitely not. That's definitely not better than Lil Lettuce 45.
I feel like Fellini for life is somebody trying to pretend to be me. And thereby mock me.
Are you gonna get them a T-shirt then? Is that how this works?
I don't know. We'd have to actually look. Is this a troll type situation where it's like,
they're trying to out you? Yeah, they're trying to get you to come out of your cave, your shell.
Oh wow!
So they can attack you.
That is fascinating.
Speaking
or maybe
of
it's
being
really a
attacked,
Fellini fan.
I had a today, John.
Yo.
I was attacked
Really?
physically. Yeah.
Nah. Really?
Yeah, by an automobile. I was hit by an automobile in motion today.
Were you also in an automobile?
I was on foot.
Huh.
I was walking, same exact situation as last time. When the cab hit me, it was not a cab, but a guy backed into me and almost knocked me over because I was looking at my phone, which is partly my fault. Whatever, sue me, except I'm going to sue you for almost killing me. I got hit. Yeah. Anyway, but
How
this
bad?
time, no, not bad. He just bumped me, and it was like very startling because I was like, where did this car come from?
Oh, you
And
didn't
he
get
wasn't
hit, you
paying
got bumped.
attention. Well, I didn't get hit.
You got nudged.
I got nudged.
How bad it is, though, is up to how good of an actor you are and how badly you want that money.
I was like, I'm walking here.
You had prime lawsuit on your hand right there that you dropped the ball on.
Well, I chose to be the bigger man, and instead of saying anything, I just kind of looked at him as I walked, because I was behind his car, and I had to walk towards around his car because he was like kind of perpendicular to the crosswalk. I mean, he was parallel to the crosswalk, which again makes it even more his fault. So I had to walk past his window, and I just kind of locked eyes with him and just stared at him for a second and then just kept walking.
Yeah, I mean, my fear in any of those situations is that it's going to escalate
For sure.
out of control. And it's like, what am I going to gain here? I'm going to yell at a guy who I don't know, who I'll never see again. For
No,
what?
it's pointless. No, I wanted him to learn a lesson. It's you don't want to be backing into people. You need to be aware of your surroundings. But I didn't need to yell at him,
Right.
and I didn't
Did
ruin
you?
my vibe. No, that's what I'm saying. I just locked eyes with him,
Okay.
walked by, and then kept walking like
I
nothing
see.
happened.
Right.
And it felt much better, and it didn't ruin my vibe. You know, I just kept on with my day. It was good. I didn't
It'd be
feel
funny
like I
if
lost
that
my
guy.
cool.
It'd be funny if that guy learned the exact opposite lesson, though. And I was like, you know what? People really don't mind it if you back into them. That guy seemed cool with it.
Yeah, but I don't think I looked cool.
I see. You were giving him the stink eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I gave him the stink eye.
Okay, so you glared at him.
Yeah,
So that's an
yeah.
escalation. That's an escalation in itself.
I know, but he attacked me with his car.
Yeah, but it was an accident.
He attacked me, John.
I mean, I hear you.
And my neck has been hurting.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
And I've all developed a limp all of a sudden.
You got a neck brace, right?
And I developed another kind of limp.
Dust that neck brace off.
Actually, my friend is being sued currently because she rear-ended a guy. Not bad. Like, they both drove away, both barely, the bumpers were even scratched. She rear-ended a guy, and then, no joke, like, within 2 days of the statute of limitations for basically, like, filing a lawsuit in an accident in wherever this was, Maryland, I guess. Within 2 days of that expiring, he filed a lawsuit saying that his marriage had ended because he was no longer able to achieve an erection ever since that accident took place.
How hard did he get hit?
Barely. He didn't get hit at all. Like, they both drove away from the accident. Like,
this guy's value on his erections is $15,000. Up your game, buddy. Come on. Holy cow.
and his marriage.
Wow.
He needs a new lawyer. Wow. You're right. Okay.
It's so bogus.
True.
I mean, it's so bogus, but it's the reality we live in. You know, I rear-ended a lady once down here, and it couldn't have been more amicable. Mm-hmm. And I started to realize, I've said this before, but if that happened elsewhere in the country, I would have certainly gotten sued.
Mm-hmm.
People are so friendly.
Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you about my car chase?
No. No.
This is not a joke. This actually happened. I was driving in front of Need Loves, which is on Main Street in Chattanooga, and I was slowing down to make a left-hand turn, and I got rear-ended pretty hard by this lady in a black Honda Accord, and she rear-ended me. She pulled up kind of next to me, and then I was like, all right, I guess pull over. Like, I was fine. I was like, all right, pull over, whatever. And she pulled over in front. I got out of the car. She started walking back towards me. She was probably 30 feet in front of me. She started walking back towards me. As she was walking towards me, I went around to look at the damage. And by the time I looked up from looking at the bumper, she was already in her car and driving off. I was like, oh, hell no.
It's a pro tip.
Because I have like an
always flee the scene.
Exactly. But see, I have like I have an old Jeep at this point, like a 96 Jeep Cherokee that I love. Yeah. And I don't have comprehensive insurance. And so I'm like, because, you know, if I had comprehensive insurance, I'd be like, whatever, this sucks. I have to pay my own deductible and all that kind of stuff. But like, whatever, I'll get it fixed. But in this case, I was like, this is going to be like $1,500 out of my pocket. Mm-hmm. No can happen here, Missy. And so I jumped in the Jeep and I sped after her, and she sees me coming. She's kind of like not going that fast. And then she sees me coming. She speeds up, whips around this corner, and straight up, we're in a car chase now. I'm already on the phone with the cops. And I was like, oh, well, like, it looks like a hit and run, but I'm chasing her. And she's like, I don't think you should do that. And I was like, no, I'm going to get her license plate. And so I chased her all over Chattanooga for like probably a solid 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, it was like a long down back alleys, like speeding down. It was very dangerous, and I totally ill-advised in every conceivable way. But I did it, and I finally got close enough because I was in this, you know, old Jeep. She's in like a pretty nice new Honda that like definitely has anti-lock brakes and those sorts of necessary things for a car chase. And I finally caught up to her, snapped a photo of her license plate number. Bottom line, turns out that she had stolen her mom's car.
Oh, no.
And she didn't have insurance on it. Her mom didn't have insurance on it because she was planning on selling it like any day. Or she had been waiting to sell it. So she didn't have insurance. It wasn't supposed to be driven. She stole it. Her mom is this really nice old lady, and she has no money. And she ended up giving me like $200 over the course of the next like 6 months.
Wow.
It sucked because like I didn't want to sue her, you know, but like it was awful. I was so mad at her daughter though, because she should have never put anyone in that situation. By the way, if you're bored at this point, nothing else is this is the end of the episode. You can turn it off. You're not gonna miss anything if you quit listening right now.
There's a really cool bookstore up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And I used to go bumming around in there, and there was this book called like Rules for Bad Girls or something like this. And there was like a phase of books where they were writing all these sort of like advice but joke books. You know, like how to survive a zombie apocalypse, that sort of thing. It's like sort of tips. But anyway, one of the tips in this book was what...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well, what this tip was what to do if you get pulled over while you're drunk driving.
Oh, boy. That's a whole book?
No, it's like a section in the book. It's like all these different life hacks before that was a thing, you know? Like, what do you do if you go to a party and you don't have a bra? Like this kind of thing. What do you do if you spill chocolate on your dress? Like whatever problem a girl would face, maybe. So, you know, other like drinking related tips would have been like how to keep a bottle in your purse, stuff like that. But the tip for what to do if you get pulled over drunk driving, they had all this practical stuff like you shouldn't have been driving anyway, you know, disclaimer stuff. But at the bottom they said the ballsiest move you could do is to take, like, let's say you had a bottle in the car, you take the bottle, you open it, you get out of the car where the cops can see you, you pop the top off, you chug the drink right there, and then later in court you can say that's the first drink I had. Right? Totally harebrained, like it's not gonna work, but whatever. I thought it was kind of clever. This girl,
but again, don't drink and drive though.
Yeah, don't do that. But
also,
this girl, if she had any imagination, would have flipped that script on you so hard to say that you were chasing her, that you looked at her creepy, that you bumped into her. I mean, she could have gotten out of this so easily. People have some imagination.
To wrongfully sue people. John, this is bad advice.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
That's what this show is. This show is part two idiots talking about something they don't understand, part Wikipedia roulette, as one of our great reviews from John Drexler says.
Oh, that's that's profound.
Wikipedia roulette. And
that's
part
profound.
John's a winner of one of the t-shirts. So it's, and then part horrible advice. That's about 35% of the show.
Yeah,
even more than an even third.
I'm sitting in the world's creepiest basement, and I watched the movie Hereditary last night or 2 nights ago, and I'm completely positive that I just heard some sound coming out of the depths of my basement. Did you see that movie?
I love that movie.
Clearly you did, but
dude, also Rebecca, she cast it. My caster.
Oh yeah, really?
With Jessica Kelly, yeah.
That's sick.
Pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, in terms of horror movies, I'm not a horror movie fan necessarily, but I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was super fun. I didn't find it terribly scary for the most part. It was highly disturbing though, but so fun. Oh, so fun. I mean, the climax, the sub kind of climax with the girl, like her end. Oh, oof, that was intense. But the acting was really incredible.
I don't know why, but I immediately was thinking of, did you ever see that, what's it called, Synecdoche, New York?
Mm-hmm. With Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Remember the wife in that movie makes miniature houses. She's a miniaturist also.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's a good little motif.
The first shot of the movie is kind of unusual. I mean, when they zoom into the house, I'm sort of suspecting, like, there's going to be a point to that, but sure enough, no point.
Yeah, but it was so... There doesn't always have to be a point to, like, an insanely cool camera move.
True.
Also, I think thematically it has a point. Like, it's sort of this idea that, like, there are greater forces at work in this family. You know, like, they're not just kind of... Like, they are sort of these props almost in this larger story.
A metaphor, if you will.
Exactly. A metaphor. Well, if anyone's wondering why we're still talking, it's because this is a bonus episode. We can talk about whatever we want. And we're talking about movies.
This does not feel any different than what we normally do, let's be frank.
It really doesn't. But it's a little shaggier.
Zay, I want to encourage you, and this is semi-serious, but like I actually think you could and maybe should do this.
Ooh.
I think you should try out to be on the show Nailed It.
Ooh.
I think you should do it.
Is a very good idea.
Would you do it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, you should.
Would I do it?
You should
John,
do it.
I would kill for that opportunity.
I think you can do it. I mean, you should watch the show. It's Netflix.
Right,
you got to see the type of people they have.
Casting.
It's like
yeah.
they need people. It looks like they need people.
I guarantee they shoot it here. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you got to try to be on it.
Ooh, I'm pumped.
Maybe we should.
That's gonna be my new mission.
Topic to talk about.
That's gonna be my new mission, baby.
I think you could spend 2-3 hours shooting a little like promo video of yourself to send to them, and I think you're shoo-in, man.
Oh, that'll be so fun.
I think you have to downplay because you actually know how to cook. You have to downplay that a little bit.
But I'm certainly not a cooking expert.
But you're 1,000 times more competent than the most competent person they've had on that show yet.
Don't tell everyone, John. What if the casting director from Netflix is listening right now?
That's so true. It's so.
I'm not good at cooking, John.
Right. We all know.
Don't ruin this for me,
dude. You should absolutely do this. I think you could make a funny little promo video, and I think you could do it.
Well, listen. We've been talking about adding kind of some different projects, to track the progress of. And this is sort of another project, like reality show actor Zay. I got to get on a reality show. Maybe it's The Price is Right.
It's a one-time deal, though. Is this the kind of thing where, like, if you went on this show, you can't do? Is Real World still a thing? Then you can't do Big Brother or whatever.
No, because I think I actually know a handful of people, or I've met people who are kind of like they get cast in not necessarily this type of show, but like they get cast in stuff.
Right.
It's not truly like this random
search. It might be a
search.
stepping stone.
No, it will very much be a stepping stone.
Okay, interesting.
No, but I think regardless of where it goes, if it's not nailed it, something. I got to make it my mission to get on television. I got to get on television, though. I mean, The Price is Right could be cool, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be cool. I think.
Although I'd have to actually get in. I mean, it would be so hard to get on that.
Yeah,
no, I need to find
happen.
Or you know what I want to go on, dude? Forge and Fire. Is that what that show's called?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
It's like guys making knives. They make knives.
That sounds so boring.
It's
like a weeks-long process.
Nerdiest thing ever. No, they have to do it like really quickly.
Episode 2 through 5, we take a nap.
No. It's like one of these oneers. They have to like 3 projects per episode.
I gotcha. Yeah.
We'll see.
What kind of shitty knives are they cranking out though?
Some of them look pretty darn cool.
Really?
But usually, darn cool. Usually, though, they give them really challenging stuff. They're like, hey, you have to melt down this lawnmower blade and turn it into a knife in under 4.5 hours or something like that.
There is a guy who's watching that's like, I might need that skill.
Oh, for sure.
When the apocalypse happens and the power goes off.
Knives would be hard to make.
If you knew how to, it's one of those things. Mm-hmm. If you know how to do it and it does save your life, you're going to feel like the smartest guy on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
100%.
Everybody else, it's like every other Aesop fable, like learn the skill that you need for later.
I wonder if that was a little bit what like the Renaissance was like. You sort of had the Dark Ages where a lot of knowledge was lost. And then I wonder if throughout that time there were like certain people who kind of like kept certain things like more advanced blacksmithing or better farming methods. And if they were the ones, whoever was sort of in that knowledge pathway over the course of 300-400 years were the most likely ones to sort of blossom. And you know what I mean? Or I wonder if it was all just sort of so feudally. I don't know. I like after the fall of Rome, that was like such a weird time I don't know a lot about because it's not like there were these massive, smaller empires. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when did all those castles and shit start getting built?
Is Wikipedia roulette a real thing?
I don't know.
I'm just totally jammed on this. I love this.
But aren't you curious, though? Like, when did the Monty Python era of things start, like after sort of the fall of, or was that stuff already there and those were just like barbarians or something? It just seems like they would have
feudalism.
Yeah. When did feudalism come up? That's what I'm saying.
I know this for a fact. 1250. That's
okay,
when
then what was
feudalism
happening
started.
between like 450 and 1250?
I don't know that.
That's what I'm
I don't
asking
know.
about.
It depends where you are. I mean, it depends where you are and what you think. I don't have any fucking clue. You should
That's what
definitely
I'm
not be
asking
asking me
about,
that
though.
question.
I want to
Why
know.
would you ask me that?
Find out.
That is so much time. I mean, you're talking about
I know, it's a
1,000
ton.
years.
What was
America hasn't
happening in,
existed
like-
for 400.
I know, but dude, I'm asking you, what was happening
Where?
in like 757 in what is now Austria?
I mean, I imagine that people are living sort of similarly to now. Like, you've got a family, you've got a house, you're trying to get food.
But who's ruling them and protecting them and organizing them, or is that not even a thing? That's the kind of stuff I'm asking.
Oh,
Are they making swords? Do they know how to make swords, or do you have to like go to the city like 200 miles away to get a sword? You know?
Did you think that?
Or is there like a little feudal lord who lives in a castle and like you just kind of, you know, have to pay your fees and be a peasant? Like when did peasant stuff start happening? You know?
When
I
did
think
it
by
stop
1250
is a better question.
I think to your point, I think 1250 was the height of feudalism perhaps, but it's not like when it started.
I completely pulled that number out of my rump. I have no idea.
What?
How can I
John?
possibly know that? How could I possibly know that?
I think you're late then. I thought you knew. Oh my.
No.
Oh my god.
No, I don't just keep that fact rattling around in my head.
Oh boy. You know, while we're here, let's look it up.
I don't
Let's
think
look
you
it
can
up.
find a hard date on this.
No, I don't think there's a hard date.
I don't think you're going to find out what. 9th and 15th centuries. You know, just that long.
That's so much time. So many people lived and died. Oh man.
It's a drop in the bucket.
All right, major events from the fall of Rome to the Renaissance. Here we are. Oh, this is too nerdy for me.
But there's probably hundreds.
Crusades were kind of in the 11. All right, the Dark Ages. What are the Dark Ages? That's what I want to know. What are the Dark Ages? You know where I'm going, John? I'm not
Tell
going
me.
to Wikipedia. I'm going to the Encyclopedia Britannica.
No, that doesn't still exist.
Yes.
People
You want
used
me
to
read you
go
this?
sell those door to door.
Yeah, well, I'm on the internet version, and it's free.
Is it really? How do they make money?
Baby. Well, I mean, they may just give you a little teaser. Okay. The Dark Ages, also called the Early Middle Ages, the early medieval period of Western European history, specifically the time. This is exactly what we're wondering, John. 476. I said 450, but 476 to 800. When there was no Roman or Holy Roman emperor in the West, or more generally, the period between about 500 and 1000. Hold on, Charlie, please, buddy. We're trying to have a very important conversation, my bro. I think he gets it. The name of the period refers to the movement. Okay, what?
I just love thinking about the guy who's listening to this who just pulled his car over. And he's like, okay, 476. Hey, shut those damn dogs up. I'm trying to take notes here, man. Like, not happening.
That would be really, yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
Keep going. I want to hear those dates. I'm
All
actually
right, the
interested
period
in that.
between 500 and 1000, which was marked by frequent warfare and a virtual disappearance of urban life. That is such an interesting way to think about the Dark Ages, the disappearance of urban life. You know what I mean? Picture that. There's no real cities. There's just little towns everywhere. There's nothing. There's no government big enough to run a city. You know what I mean?
Well, what led to de-urbanization?
What led to it was the fall of the Roman Empire, and all these people, like the entire power structure, just got completely dismantled.
So this obviously is just about Europe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a medieval period of Western European history. Oh, there's probably tons of stuff happening everywhere else. I bet Asia had all sorts of crazy stuff going on. No, this is Europe. But dude, we're Americans, baby. We don't care about anybody else's history.
Yeah, so true. We don't. What was happening in America right then?
Lots of stuff, dude. I got a whole book for you, my bruh. It's called 1492. It's about pre-Columbian Western Hemisphere, and it will blow your mizzly mind. There were so many millions of people living in the Western Hemisphere around when we're talking about right now, especially afterwards. Like dozens and dozens of millions of people, like as many as were living in Europe.
Doing what?
Building civilizations, like really advanced, dope civilizations that you can still go see the pyramids and stuff. They're so cool.
You know what they weren't great at doing?
Do you know what they were doing, John? They were inventing corn.
Maize.
Yeah, dude, they invented maize. Scientists cannot figure out where maize started other than just some really long-term, very skillful sort of ancient method of genetic engineering. The name of the period refers to the movement of so-called barbarian peoples, including the Huns, the Goths, the Vandals, the Bulgars, the Alani, the Suebi, and the Franks. Dude, think about, there was like people within those groups that had, like politics and stuff. They like Frank wanted the tribe to be named after himself. This is just, we just call it the Dark Ages and don't even remember what the Dark Ages were. And there was a guy named Frank who was powerful enough to name a tribe after himself.
Yeah.
The world is weird, man.
Not just that, but a lot of the words that you used have lingered to, like Goth, Vandal, and have connotations to this very day, obviously.
Bulgar,
Vandal.
I bet that has something to do with burglary, maybe. So
that was one of the most racist things I have ever heard you say.
What?
Wow. I'm just kidding.
It's like, what are you talking about?
All the Bulgars listening right now, like, what the fuck did he say about us, man?
The Bulgars. All right, let's find out who the Bulgars are, baby.
How dare you, man?
The term Dark Ages is now rarely used by historians because of the value judgment it implies. That's fair. Okay. There was probably some really important stuff happening, though sometimes taken to derive its meaning from the dearth of information about the period. The term's more usual and pejorative sense is of a period of intellectual darkness and barbarity.
Sounds
and I
familiar.
guess some people would maybe argue that that was not what was happening. Really funny movie, speaking of the Dark Ages, is Jabberwocky, which is directed by Terry Gilliam. Oh, that movie's funny. It's kind of like watching a Monty Python sketch, but it actually has the whole kind of plot going, sort of. But it's really, really funny. Bulgar, also called Bulgarian. Oh, maybe they stuck around.
Okay, you were right. They are terrible people.
Member of people known in Eastern Europe, Eastern European history during the Middle Ages, a branch of this people was one of the primary three ethnic ancestors of modern Bulgarians. So there were two others, the Thracians and the Slavs. Bulgarians, that it seems like there's enough kind of mixing going on there that they're not going to take their, one third of their far distant past too seriously. So I think we're probably okay.
We could change the name of this podcast to the Half-Assed History Lesson.
Dude, that sounds like a great podcast. It's like hardcore history, but half-assed history. Is that not a show already? Because if it's not, I could get into that.
Always hear ads or whatever for like drunk history.
Oh, drunk history is funny. I was just watching some of that last night.
Heard it,
oh, yeah.
But
they get these, usually probably grad students, but these historians to talk about their period, and they'll tell a story, but they get them super drunk. And I got to recommend everyone who's still listening, which is probably about 1% of the people who started, go do yourself a favor. Go on Hulu. Type into your browser window, https://www.hulu.com. Do yourself a favor. Go watch Drunk History. Go watch the Nashville episode. They talk about William Jennings Bryan and the Scopes Monkey Trial. They talk about Dolly Parton.
Dayton, Tennessee, right down the road.
Yeah, it did. And it was funny. I was actually watching it with someone from Dayton. It was pretty embarrassing for all of us.
Dayton's a quaint little town now.
It's very nice. They also talk about Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner, and it's one of the most beautiful / funny things I've ever seen. And then they talk about Lewis and Clark, also very funny. So do yourself a favor, go watch it.
Do yourself a favor too, and I don't know if it's the newest Miley Cyrus album, but I think it's the newest one.
Malibu?
It's the one with her wearing like a glitter jacket with her back to you.
The Dolly Parton song is good.
That's what I was going to say. Do yourself a favor. Yeah. Listen to that first song with Dolly Parton. It's pretty banging.
Very, very good song. Well, this bonus episode is about to cross the threshold of not being a bonus episode anymore. It's pretty darn long.
Yeah, it's time to go. We should call this bonus or bust.
All right, but keep an eye out for me and John launching Half-Ass History.
Oh, no.
Very soon. John, you know you're psyched about this. Think of all the topics.
I could definitely do the half-ass part.
Yeah, the history part might be hard.
You might have to get that.
Which is why we're half-assing it. All right, John, I got to go. I know
Great
you
talking.
do too. Bye. Thanks for tuning in for episode 10 of I Guess We'll Do It That Way. Join us in a few days when we finally dive into a conversation about locations, which is a super important part of the Rollers process. Also, don't forget to send in your address if you're a winner of one of those coveted t-shirts, and no cheating. Today's show was produced by Isaiah Smallman and edited by Roger Middenway. Executive producer John Schimpf. Opening song is The Get Down by Summer Dregs. Outro music is Man From Nowhere by Tom Paulus and Max Bells. Our cover art was designed by Nate Giordano. This has been a production of Mama Bear Studios.
Man from nowhere, feeling the heat of the desert air. The rambling journey is all I know. It's your boy.